Okay. Hi, good morning. This is Bob Herzog and Lynn Zuccaro, and we're with the Silver Lake Historical Collective, and this is our special little project on the steps and public pathways of Silver Lake. We're standing here on London Street, which is the street I live on, and my house is 2 houses up. We decided to start here because it's my neighborhood. The steps you see behind us lead from London to Bellevue. A little brief history about the steps and public paths of Silver Lake. These were developed in the mid-1920s, 1925, 26, 27, to link the streets that circle around the hilltops and the ridges of our neighborhood here in Silver Lake. There are also steps in Echo Park and in Las Feliz, but we're concentrating on the steps in our neighborhood. What we're going to do now, first of all, I want to thank the Department of Public Works for providing us with a map, which Lynn has in her hands, and we're going to do a close-up of that in a minute. This outlines all of the steps, and I might also add that these steps were put in back in the days when automobiles were a luxury, and people used public transportation, their feet, bicycles, or horse carts back in the 1920s. A car might cost $500, $600, $700, but it was still considered to be a luxury. So these steps were put in to provide a means for getting up and down the hillsides to people's homes from the public transportation. The red cart eventually in the 30s and 40s, and who knows whatever they had before then. So let's get started. All right, Lynn is going to show us the map that was provided to us. The Silver Lake Echo Park Community Plan Area, provided by the Los Angeles City Planning Department. We thank the people there for these maps. They've been very helpful. Lynn, why don't you open that up for us? This is a map of our neighborhood, and we've figured that there are about 24 steps and public paths in the Silver Lake area, which is designated here by this green line. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, there it is, the highlight line.
And there's the reservoir.
Here's the reservoir.
And here's Sunset Boulevard.
I can't see anything because of the sun behind me. Anyway, we are right about here. And I'm shaking the camera too much. All right, shall we go up the steps, Lynn?
Let's do it.
Okay.
One that I've got, and on one of them, comments that I use, somebody was saying, I don't really miss the optical viewfinder, and I thought, uh-oh, that's not for me. Because I take most of my pictures looking through the little
I don't use
instead of the screen.
My new digital camera doesn't even have a viewfinder.
Oh.
It just has a screen, but it adjusts for bright light. So I don't have this problem.
So this person said that I don't mind not having it because the screen's very good, but I'm not sure I trust that. But here's another testimony that it looks like.
It depends on the make of the camera.
What did you get?
All right. I'm just going to follow you up.
Okay. Then after that, show me how to do it because I should.
I will.
Okay. All right, start.
Okay. All right, here we go up the steps. Following Lynn. I had a bicycle accident about 7 years ago, and I used these steps 5 or 6 times a day, up and down, to help build up the muscles in my legs. We have a halfway point here. I also want you to notice that we have houses and apartments along these steps. They're only accessible from the steps. Some of these stairways are 3 times this long, and people live at the top of them. And they have to trudge up and down the steps every day with their belongings with their groceries, and they take everything down, trash, etc. Oops. Accidentally focusing on your derriere there. I don't think you appreciate it. Anyway, here's a little place up here. They've just redone these. And we're on a little, very mini cul-de-sac. They've done a nice job on these units.
They have a great tree.
And there's where we came from. Now, Lynn and I do this frequently, so we're not as out of breath as some, although I am a bit out of breath because I've been talking. Anyway, those are the steps from London to Bellevue.
Oops. Oh, I see. Camera. Wait. I didn't have it on record. Now I have it on record. This is Lynn, and I'm learning how to use the video camera. So we're gonna zoom in on Robin. There we go. Zoom out, zoom in. Hey, Robert. All right, I've got this. Now I'm a pro. Hey, I consider these to be Robert's steps because I've lived here for 16 or 17 or 18 years, and I didn't even know about these steps until I knew about others. But I didn't even know about these steps until Robert told me, so I always think of them as Robert's steps, although he thinks of them as the London to Bellevue steps. Of course, what people really want to do is come down steps. Going up is not nearly as popular. And Robert has the advantage of living at the bottom, so he can go to the store and come down. Okay, this is a little park, just Vendome Street is right to the left of Robert, and he says this is not really called the Music Box Park, but we call it the Music Box Park because of the stairs behind us, which were in a Laurel and Hardy movie that featured moving a piano, a music box. It's a tiny little park in the shape of a triangle. These are the Music Box steps, made famous in the Laurel and Hardy picture. And they're a pretty long set of steps. You get out of breath going up there. Okay, go.
Okay, Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy in the Music Box, 1932. I believe it won the Academy Award that year for the best short film subject. This plaque marks the site of the making of the Music Box, winner of the 1932 Academy Award for short subject. Okay, I'm redundant. Comedy. The film starred comic legends Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy, who also employed this location in their 1927 film, Hats Off. Both films were produced by the Hal Roach Studios. This is just a note for the archives. Last November of 2006, I was here for the activities for the Laurel and Hardy Park Day, the celebration that's annual, and I did about 27 minutes of tape on the activities. We met all the participants, the sponsors. It's a fun party. They have free pizza and soft drinks, and the neighborhood turns out and they show the film several times during the day in a tent over in the park, which you've just seen. And it was a lot of fun. That's it. Are you on?
Yeah, I'm on.
Okay, we have Silver Lake Cleanup Day coming for the steps sometime in May, I do believe, and I just wanted Lynn to show some of the trash that's collected here at the bottom of the Music Box steps. A lot of the other steps have trash and overgrown shrubbery on them as well. It's not our job to document that, but they do need to be maintained, and oftentimes people paint them on their own and the paint starts chipping off. I don't know what the rules are about that, but I don't think the city pays too much attention to these because they're not used that often, mostly by people who live on them and have no other way to get up and down from their houses, or by people who use them for exercise like Lynn and I and a lot of other people in Silver Lake. And we have somebody coming down. This was not planned. This gentleman is using the steps like a regular pedestrian. Either that or he's coming down to tell us to go away. I'm not sure which.
Whoops.
Okay, that was, we didn't get that on camera. The gentleman that was coming down the steps was using the steps for exercise. I just asked him, do you do this every day? And he said yes. So that's an example of the people who are using the steps now. Well, this little set of steps was right near where our car was parked after we did the Music Box steps. We noticed this. Somebody was just coming down. These may be the shortest set of steps that connect Dillon with Vendome. They're about 50 yards from the Music Box steps. So let's put these in as the shortest public steps in Silver Lake. Hi, here we are at the top of the Mitchell-Terrena stairway. The street up here is Winslow, and it dead ends right here, makes a left-hand turn and goes to Maltman. And these steps go down 2 levels from Winslow to Larissa, and then the next set goes from Larissa to Sunset Boulevard, and probably these steps have more people driving past them down below than all the other steps in Silver Lake. These steps are also used. We just waited for a gentleman who was coming up the steps to clear them before we started our taping, and a neighborhood character I see around town all the time. So these steps are getting used, and they're kind of interesting simply because they're one of the few sets that go directly to Sunset Boulevard from the top of the hill where we are right now. We're going to go back down to the bottom and shoot up so you get an idea of the difference between being up here in a very rural feeling area to being down on Sunset, which is very commercial at this particular point. So we'll go down below.
It's his kind of story, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to get the street sign, but...
Dorsey is really a go-getter.
Uh-huh.
These are really beautiful, aren't they?
They are, because it's shady and you get the color down there.
Are you
do a little day. Whoops.
My mind just went blank. Oh, one quick note. These public stairways have apartments and houses off of them, as many of the longer ones do. As I said before, people have to bring their materials up or down these steps. Parking is somewhat limited, so usually the people who live on these steps have either small cars or no cars at all. Okay, here we are on Sunset Boulevard at the bottom of the steps that come down from Winslow to Larissa to Sunset Boulevard. You can hear the traffic going behind me. I'm gonna follow Lynn to the base of the steps and we'll shoot up. We're not gonna take you up the steps, but this again is a set of steps that has a lot of little cottages and apartment buildings off of it. Well, you can't see them. Pardon?
Also a lot of trash.
Ah, yes, more trash. I'll show you that in a minute. I believe that apartment building now in the viewfinder is on Larissa. And this will give you an idea of what we have to deal with our public steps. People just dump stuff here. Of course, we've had a lot of wind in the last couple of days, so things do blow around. You can see the palm fronds that have been coming off the palm trees that are here. These are not maintained by anyone, as far as I can tell. Let me know if you find anything interesting up there. Lynn just said that there are 3 more flights. This will be one of the longer sets of public steps in the Silver Lake area. I know 2 that are longer, and we're going to visit those on this little expedition.
Okay, this is the bottom of a series of 3 stairways that start at the lower end at Westerly Terrace to Reedsdale, and then go from Reedsdale to Rotary, and then from Rotary to Webster. And they're easier to find, the other sections, but this little start right here is very easy to miss with the ivy around it and this little rusty pole.
Silver Lake Boulevard is a half a block behind you to the east.
Okay, and Bob is saying Silver Lake Boulevard is about a half a block right behind us and downhill.
West Silver Lake Drive is 25 yards behind us.
Okay, I think I...
Just mention that these go all the way to the top of the ridge.
Okay, these go... By the time you get up to Winslow, you've gone all the way up to the top of the ridge that separates Silver Lake Reservoir from what's behind it.
Not Winslow, Webster.
Webster, rather. Whoops.
It's a long climb.
There we go. Let's see. There we go.
Brush.
Oh, shoot. Somewhere along there I went from recording to standby.
I do it all the time.
This is a learning experience. You know, it's like when I do something on my house, I do a lot of do-it-yourself, and I always start front and center, and I learn. And by the time I get inside the closet, I know what I'm doing, and I'm doing a great job. But
I went through the same thing. You know what it's easy is if you do stationary.
yeah, controlling the zoom and moving it.
Trying to tape and control the things.
Everywhere you go and you get to different levels.
Stand by. It's okay. We've been.
You get him in his studio.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah.
I just had put my finger on it.
It's hard to redo.
I think I got your parents' part.
Oh, you did? Okay. My parents were Italian. They moved to Argentina. Lived there for a while where I was born, and then they moved again, and they moved to Australia. So I was very fortunate to be brought up in different places. And then
When you came from Australia, right to Los Angeles.
to Los Angeles.
And
And actually, you could say Silver Lake, because my first girlfriend here was from Silver Lake. Cut edit. So am I, but they said, forget it. We're putting you on.
Hi. Who are you?
I'm Sahar. I'm Daniel's tenant.
Oh, hi,
And a
Sahara.
wonderful friend.
We just had a wonderful thing happen. I had met Daniel here at this very spot a couple of months ago, and he agreed to be interviewed for the Silver Lake Historical Collective.
Oh, fantastic.
We're doing a mini documentary on all the public steps and stairways in Silver Lake.
Fantastic.
So we came here to shoot the view from the Redsdale steps, and here he was coming up the steps. So we're getting an impromptu interview. We'd like to interview him further in his studio and get some shots of
Excellent.
his equipment.
We met about 3 months ago, exactly the same thing, and then today we go for a walk and they're doing this.
How
so it's like,
funny.
oh, we're filming now, and I'm
Wow,
saying,
what perfect timing.
See, we
are you
believe-
sure we should be on camera?
We believe you actually live on the steps.
Been waiting for you guys.
All right, well, I'm going to scoot out of your way.
Are you filming this?
Now
is
I
this,
am.
Is this getting down on tape, what you just said?
No, I'm just filming him going down. Well, do you agree or
You
disagree?
have to destroy the camera.
What is there to disagree with?
Exactly.
You know?
Okay, let's do this again. We're a few steps lower than we were the last time we did that. We're looking at downtown Glendale and the San Gabriel Mountains to the back, the Eagle Rock, of course, the Silver Lake Reservoir, the meadows across the way. It's a gorgeous day for this. We thought it might be foggy. It has been for the last few days. You're not on camera, don't worry.
I'm not even thinking about that.
Oh, now you are. There goes Daniel. El Signore Fabiano. Way in the distance there, if you can barely see it in the haze, are the skyscrapers, the high-rises of downtown Los Angeles. So we're looking from downtown LA to, I should say from downtown Glendale to downtown LA. Now this is what a lot of the people use these steps for their exercise. And the people we just met are going up and down repeatedly for their workout. But what a beautiful place to do it. We're standing on kind of a barren bluff here. I don't know who owns this, if this belongs to the city or not. Okay, you're on.
Okay, we're at the top of Earl Street on the east side of Silver Lake, and looking back at Silver Lake, and behind us is a pretty long-looking and unkempt-looking stairway that goes down to a street that we can't find the name of. But it's
The street with no name.
the street with no name.
And these steps look spooky. They're not very well maintained. A lot of mud and goop down there, but we're going to go down
But
there.
we're going to go down.
But first we want to take a look at the contractor sign. We've missed these on some of the others. Most of these steps have a stamp of the contractor who made them
And of the inspector
and of the inspector, which is
for the
right
city.
right here, inspector for the city. Again, these were all done sometime during the mid-1920s. What's interesting about the neighborhood, I don't know if you can see the lake down there. That's my little car right there. But here to the left is a brand new construction, a contemporary structure
With the best location.
with 360-degree views of the city. And don't forget, all of the stuff to build this house has to be brought up this very steep street. Earl Street, coming off of Glendale Boulevard. I had a little trouble getting up this hill in first gear and first and second. Be good for roller skates or skateboard. This is the neighborhood. I lost Lynn. Nice house up here. Car coming.
Down.
Okay, Lynn's
right.
starting down. I'm going to follow her as best I can. These steps aren't in real clean condition. I don't want to fall down and break anything. Yeah, these definitely need a good cleaning. We'll put them on the cleaning list. Earl Street steps
Here
to,
with a blower or a broom.
yep. Oh, we have a turn coming up. Yeah, these are really dirty. We have nasturtiums blooming on the steps. What do you see?
And just a little pathway there.
Stand of
Yeah, of bamboo.
bamboo.
Yeah. And little sort of pathway. It doesn't look like a real
I'm about to run out of battery.
Oh.
I put a new one in.
Look at this. Well, this is a real zigzag. Look at this little bit of fennel that looks like a dried fountain growing out of
Oh,
the
yeah.
rock.
Yeah, we're heading down toward Alessandro on the by the 2 freeway. These are the ones Joanne was telling me about.
What did she say?
She told me there were a set of steps that went up to the top because we were doing Loma Vista, which is behind us. And she was trying to tell me about these steps. These are long.
This is long. This
And
is longer.
they zigzag.
Yeah. And so far the most neglected steps. we've
Yes. They're not used very often. Yeah, these really go down a long ways.
seen. Look at this. Yeah.
We have to come back
And
up.
Up a long way.
That's right, we have to come back up.
I'm being. We can go slow.
Sure. We had a nice lunch, we can work it off.
Yeah.
Just to note, we're heading east.
You know what? One of those is Bancroft, and one of them is Earl.
Bancroft and Earl again.
Yeah. So I think the stairway goes from Earl to Earl.
Okay. The Earl Street steps.
Yes. On the west of the 2 sides. I think there's some on the other side. All right, I don't have to go the last.
Yep, we get the picture. I'm almost
last
out of
15
battery anyway.
steps. Yeah.
Across the
And
way
then
over there
across
is
the way is
Echo Park. Across the 2 freeway, and the bottom street down here is Alessandro. We're going to come back and shoot that for the Loma Vista steps. Anyway, that's it for today. See you again soon, folks.
Is that a...
Okay, we're back. This is Bob Herzog on camera. The date is and
Lynn Zuccaro.
Lynn Zuccaro, and we're resuming our taping of the public paths and stairways of Silver Lake. Well, not all of them, but the ones that we selected that we think are most interesting. Today is Wednesday, May 30th. I think it's approximately a month since
Think so.
we last taped. We're going to have a nice day, and we are now, and Lynn will tell you where we are and where we're going.
Okay, we're at the bottom of what we're calling the Londa West Steps. And they start off Silver Lake Boulevard, where Londa, the paved part of Londa, ends at Lucille. The steps continue up and over to where Londa starts again on the other side at Maltman and continues on down to Silver Lake.
And this again is the map that we're using, provided by the Department of Public Works.
And
You
here
see
we
that?
are.
And where's your finger? Put your finger back in.
There.
Ah, okay. Okay. Very good. We're not going to make you walk up the steps with us, but we'll stop at each intersection with the street and tell you where we are. Oh, And for people who say there's no property left available in Silver Lake, here you go. In case you want to build on this lot. That's about all it is left in Silver Lake, are these steep lots. Okay, I stand corrected. There is a little house up there on the side of the hill that's for sale. It's not this property, although this looks like a vacant lot. I should have read the sign first. It does say 1 bedroom, 1 bath. Anyway, just some incidental information. Okay, this is where we're going to go. I think, how many sets of steps?
146 steps.
146 steps. We're not going to make you walk up here with us, but we'll talk to you when we get to the top of this set. Well, here's one of the little houses that you can only reach by the steps. And this is the one that's for sale. The sign down below. We're halfway up the steps right now. And at the top I see Edgecliff. So here we are at the top of the first set of steps. Londa and Edgecliff. That's where we came from. And that's where we're going. You ready?
Ready.
Okay, for you gardeners, Lynn wanted me to get a picture of this bougainvillea, which is growing right next to the steps. This really is like being out in the country when you get up here. This is a dead-end street, obviously, and that's why these steps were put in, to link the different levels and streets going up and around the sides of the ridges and hills of Silver Lake. Okay, off we go. Okay, we're about halfway up the steps coming from below. Here's a big open lot, and there's a house up above here. I don't know if they own that property or not, but it's kind of nice to see open space.
And there's a path.
And they're not real crazy about us being here. But as long as we stay on the paths and steps, we're okay. So here we go again. Okay, here's a house. There's another one next to it. And the only way to get here is using the steps. You carry everything up and you carry everything out. Up or down. Yeah, pianos, refrigerators. There's a house here that looks like it could be right in the middle of Italy. And I believe this house has a nice garden, Lynn. Kind of wild. But
oh, it is. It's very pretty. Oh my goodness.
and they have a little patio here. Hollyhock, some roses down here.
Very Mediterranean.
Very Mediterranean.
And there's a pretty.
It's a mailbox. This is really very pretty.
It sure is. Just a pretty location.
And we have another house coming up too. Oh, just for balance, we have a whole hillside behind us that apparently is someone's backyard or it's vacant land. This is really like being out in the country. And this looks to be the lower backyard of one of the houses that is on the next street at the top of the steps. Okay, Lynn just discovered a little treasure. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it's these look like manhole covers for some kind of service, sewers, or I don't even know if they have sewers up here, but this says
Gas and Electric
LAG&E Corp. Gas and Electric Corp. This dates way back. There's another one too that's right next to it. I'm not sure what this is. What does that
Bell
say?
System. So it has to
So
be
these are
telephone.
utilities, Bell System. This has got to go back to the 20s, 1920s, maybe earlier, don't know. Not part of my historical record. Interesting though.
I'm not sure.
This is what? This is the fourth house?
Let's see.
I think it's,
actually.
oh, it's the third.
Yeah, so it's really 3 houses in a row.
3 houses in a row. I miscounted. I said 5 or 6, but
Well, there's this one up here.
but this looks like the back of the house that's on Londa at the top. They have a huge backyard. Well, huge by relativity. Okay, up we go. See you guys at the top. Now, we just found another little house here to our left, going up the steps. Nice too. It's got a nice porch that wraps around. And again, the only way to get to this place is by using these steps. Now I remember these steps. They come up into somebody's private driveway. Lynn is standing on their driveway, and to get to the street, you have to walk up their driveway to, what is this street up here, Landa?
Londa and Maltman.
Where Londa and Maltman come together.
The steps being Londa, basically.
So here we are.
That way it's Maltman and this way it's Londa.
I didn't even know they converged,
Well,
but they do. Maltman and Londa. Or Landa, if you're from the Midwest.
right.
We're also taking in some of the natural sights here, these beautiful multicolored geraniums. This house looks to be a 30-ish modern, and it has an annex. I'm sure that was built later.
Yeah, it kind of looks like it.
Now this winds up to the top of the hill and I think runs into Micheltorena up here, I think. I walked all the way up.
Oh, yeah, it would be.
This is at the top of the steps we've just come up, and this is the city inspector. There should also be a contractor's name and often a date. We'll look for that on the way down. As I mentioned earlier, most of these steps were put in the mid-1920s. 25, 26 in that period. Okay, we're coming back down the same steps we just went up, but it's a hazy day, but this is an idea of the view from up here. We're looking west toward Hollywood. I wish it were more clear like last month, but yeah, Barnsdale Park. Okay, where are we now, Lynn?
We're at the end of Loxley, above
Rudolfo's?
Rudolfo's.
Well,
right.
actually, it's Fletcher
Yeah,
Drive,
Fletcher.
and the intersection is Riverside Drive down at the corner. There's a public path that runs across the face of this hill, and there are 2 stairwells that go off of it. So we're going to start down this public path.
Get a long shot there.
I'm going to stop the camera right now. We'll pick it up here at the bottom of the set of public steps, the first set. Okay, this is looking down the slope. I believe that's the Department of Water and Power building right there. That is the intersection down below there of Riverside and Fletcher. And this is the hillside that we're crossing. That's where we came from. And we're going to pick this up again at this. See, there's a set right here. Okay, look on the map. What?
Okay.
Just above where we were is the name of the street.
Okay.
You had it open. It's over there.
So, is it the end of Waverly?
Waverly. Yeah, this is
Okay.
Waverly. Oh, this is recording. Okay, these are the steps that come down to this public path from Waverly. And this public path continues these are the big power lines that run all across the ridge, the southern part of the ridge of Silver Lake, and run along Waverly. The last time that I was here scouting out this area, there was a homeless camp all in here. All their sleeping bags and possessions, and there was no one here, but it was obviously a homeless camp for half a dozen people. What is it? Buckwheat. It's a native plant. Oh, there are a lot of native plants in Silver Lake. That mustard back there is not native. That's not a native plant either. What is that, Lynn? Is that native?
That's datura.
What is it?
Datura.
Datura.
Or Jimson weed.
Jimson weed.
Which is
Hallucinogenic, yes. The Indians used to have lots of fun with that.
right, and it can
Our shumash.
sick too.
Okay, here are the public steps that go down to the parking lot at Rodolfo's. We're not going to go down there. I have no reason to. But I have nicknamed these. These apparently have been cleaned up a bit. They were really trashy the last time I was here. Probably done by the same people that cleared out this homeless camp. But I had nicknamed these, perhaps unfairly, the ugliest public steps in Silver Lake. And they were a mess. You can see the graffiti on them. Most of our steps do not have a lot of graffiti. But these are covered with it. I don't even know who uses these steps. Probably dog walkers and people getting exercise. Anyway, that's what we call the Rodolfo steps. Okay, we're still at the Rodolfo, as we call it, the Rodolfo path, but we noticed across the hillside there's an art installation. Somebody told me about this a couple of days ago. They are replicas of TV sets, and each one of them has a message on it. Maybe we'll go over there and check it out a little bit closer, but this is one of the wonderful things that can happen in Silver Lake in terms of arts and crafts. You never know what you're going to find when you go around the corner. So we'll go over there and check it out. Why not? Okay, we're a little off subject, but this is, we came over across Fletcher to take a look at this installation. Anti-war slogans, TVs with signs pasted over the front of them. It's like an impromptu art installation. Also, I think these pilings, the pilings that they're sitting on, are historically significant. There may have been a bridge here at one time. I know there are other people who have more historical information about this sort of thing, who can probably fill us in on these pilings, but they go all the way up the hill. I suspect it was a bridge. But somebody feels very passionately about the war. There's a kitchen sink. Okay, I'm not going to waste any more tape on this, but it is interesting.
Something you found around here.
Well, there,
We just got an
they're tearing
opinion.
down another house over there, and it's on stilts. So I was taking shots of that because actually we're doing a project to do panoramic pictures, digital photo. So it's just taking images of things that may look interesting panoramic.
Do you use that online version?
This gentleman believes that these pilings were for a housing complex that was here at one time. Don't know about that either.
But that's
Now, this guy is a photographer and he's doing panoramic photos, and he's telling us about this installation. It's been here for a year and the city refuses to take it down. What is your name? Do you mind if I ask?
Photoshop putting pictures together. He's put like 30 pictures together.
Yeah.
But
Pardon me?
I wish
I asked
could-
your name.
Oh, I'm Dustin.
And you're doing a photo project doing panoramic photos in Silver. This thing. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, in LA principally, but you may go to Pasadena later.
Yeah, Pasadena, San Gabriel Valley, downtown LA, down Riverside. There's some interesting subjects. I do a lot of installation pieces, but also like graffiti art, but like more developed, more studious graffiti art that has more graphic and linear,
More design
artistic.
consciousness,
Yeah, not just kind of
Not
scribbling.
somebody's name.
Right.
Or monitor.
I
it's
want
kind
to
of-
tell you about something when I turn off the camera. First, I'll tell you who we are. All right, we've taken a little diversion to our excursion here. We are on the east side of Silver Lake, next to the number 2 freeway, on a street called Alessandro, which right now we're on a cul-de-sac. Lynn's been taking some still photography. This is a public path, and it leads over to the other end of Alessandro, which is where we're going to explore Loma Vista Terrace, or Loma Vista Place, pardon me. But this is an interesting meadow. It's public property, and it runs all the way along this ridge, down through a little glen, and it connects over to the road that we were on previously, where we saw the TV sets on the stanchions, on the whatever they are.
Footings.
The what? Oh, the footings. And this probably is about 1.5 miles long. It runs from Alessandro, next to the number 2 freeway, all the way to Fletcher Drive. There are houses on either side of it, but the right-of-way is about, I'd say 25 yards wide. This happens to be a little meadow. And here's the trail. One of the interesting hidden places in our neighborhood. Lynn just came up with an interesting speculation about this piece of property and this trail. It very likely could have been part of the original red line, or the Pacific and Electric car line that went from the valley through here to Glendale Boulevard and then downtown. I can't verify that, but we will try to for this documentary. But it is interesting. They obviously have sewer system here. But it's kind of like a little lost world. I love it. There are those famous log cabin houses that overlook the 2 freeway. There's 3 of them, and apparently there's another one going up next to it. We just came down from there in the car. Are we on?
We're on.
Okay. This set of steps is called the Loma Vista Place steps. I do believe it is the longest set of public paths and stairways in Silver Lake. It goes from Alessandro, where we're now standing, over the top of the hill and down to Glendale Boulevard. You can see the garbage cans that are here. Whatever goes up comes down. These people have to hike up these steps every day to go to and from work and to bring their groceries and pianos and anything else up this set of steps. Right behind me is the number 2 freeway, which we all know. We are on the easternmost side of the area designated as Silver Lake. Across the freeway is Echo Park. All right,
So here's Bob at the bottom of the stairs, and he's going to start the long trek up.
Impromptu. This is Lynn Zuccaro. She's on the collective, and I'm the co-chairman.
Hi.
We're part of the Silver Lake Neighborhood Council, and we're doing a mini documentary on the public steps and paths of Silver Lake. So this is coincidental. She just happened to walk in range. We don't have a lot of time with her, but
They're not paying me.
Yes. None of us get paid. Tell us why you live up there, how you found your little place.
Well, we rented for years just around the corner. And we wanted to stay in the neighborhood. We looked around, and we looked for like a year. And we walked up the steps a couple of times, and once our real estate agent knew what we were looking for, a house way up came on the market, and it has a lot of square footage, but was
Why don't you step over here?
but it was in our price range. Unfortunately, because of being on the stairs, you can't park at your house, so you do lose a little bit in the value of your house that way. But we loved it. Our real estate agent, we had been in the house for 3 months, and he called us and he said, "If you're sick of the stairs, there's a place right next to me that's really nice." And we're like, "What do you mean sick of the stairs?" And we've been here on the stairs 10 years now. Close to 10 years now, yeah, something like that. So we lived in the neighborhood, so we knew about the stairs, and we were younger then, and it was fine.
What is your name again, please?
Christy.
Christy.
Yeah.
Well, it keeps you young. It keeps you young.
I'm a little concerned about the sound. Can you move in just a little bit
Sure,
closer to
sure.
two
I was just
freeways?
trying to get you both in the picture.
Okay. Do you mind if I ask what you pay for rent? Or
We own.
you own?
Yeah.
So what do you think your property is worth?
Right now, it's probably worth about 7.5.
Great. And what is it, 2-bedroom?
Yeah, 2-bedroom, 2-bath.
2-bath?
We've renovated the kitchen. We've renovated the master bath. We've done other upgrades to the house, new roof and those kinds
The
of
reason
things.
I ask is...
I bet you don't buy furniture very often.
Well, you learn how to tip really well. To everybody who delivers things.
How you doing?
Hi, guys.
Oh, let me get this baby.
I know. You live up the steps too, don't you? I've seen you before. This is for the Silver Lake History Collective. We're interviewing people who live up on the steps. Anyway,
Okay, I turned it off now. Oh no, I didn't either. I'm still recording.
this is still recording.
That's
Yeah.
how I am with
Yeah.
these things. I
Anyway,
never
the
know.
reason I asked that was not prying into your personal business, but I wondered if the house being up the steps would influence the value.
Yeah, probably about $100,000 actually. Probably that's what we figure as we watch the market fluctuate. And somebody just raised one of the houses. Unfortunately, it's right next to us, and the city really didn't pay much attention to the aesthetics of the neighborhood when they approved the plans to
That big modern box that's up there.
to let the people build what they built up there. And I can't imagine that it's not going to, with the proper amount of rain, that they're not going to have trouble. It's just too big for the
Well,
property.
it doesn't
It's
suit.
on
It
such
doesn't suit the neighborhood.
It's horrible.
Ask is the age of the cottages up there, like yours.
What we know of the history is about 1920s that these were built. Somebody says that somebody on the Hill once did research in that this street of houses were built for the actors and directors that were working with Tom Mix at the time, and that they lived up here because they were filming most of their westerns down in this gully before the tube was built. Who knows?
That sounds
Certainly they
plausible.
were,
Yeah.
You know, they were sort of little and cozy enough to be just, temporary housing. Originally, I think they
Yeah.
were a bathroom, a kitchen, and a living room, bedroom. Some of them are still just about that size. People have opened up windows to incorporate the outdoors into their indoors to increase their space and that sort of thing. With ours, they dug down. In the 60s, they dug down into the hillside and actually added a lower level to the house
Like
rather than going
a
up.
basement or
Yeah.
root cellar or whatever they did
Yeah.
in the 20s.
Yeah.
Where did you come from before you moved here?
Washington, D.C. Yeah. that's
And why
where
did
we
you settle
both
in
came
Silver
from.
Lake?
Well, we found something that was really cute to start renting when we first got here. My husband has family that's over in Topanga Canyon, and he was looking throughout the city. And at the time, his sister said, "Don't go to Silver Lake." She knew somebody over here that was in a kind of a rough part of the neighborhood or something, I guess. But right around the corner, it's a newlyweds house. The property owners owned the front and the back of the house. The original builders of the house built it for their son that got married. It was just a little 600 square foot with a yard. So it was like, oh, we can have a yard and really pay reasonable rent. And so that's why we landed here, and we loved it. So we stayed. It's getting crowded now, but with the crowds come more services, which you long
Yeah.
for. A little bit more shopping, better restaurants, that sort of thing. Now we have them, and we have to put up with the traffic that comes with them.
What do you like best about living where you live?
That I'm right in the middle of the city, that I'm close to all the freeways, and that I feel like I'm really away. You go up the stairs and it's just a transition. It's a transition from having been out in your day and at work, you walk up the stairs, you kind of leave it all behind, and it's for being so close to a freeway. It's quiet, we're safe, there's an instant sense of community being on the stairs. You know one another, you look out for one another. If there's strangers on the stairs, you ask them if, who they're seeing or who they're working for, that kind of thing, and you check it out. There's always been that kind of sense going on up there. With the trash cans, we have to share. The city at least lets us put them down here now. We don't have to have them at our houses. We have to put them up and down on the curb each week, and so we share responsibilities. One person on the hill sort of takes responsibilities for making a community list, and households share responsibilities for putting the cans down and back up, and just kind of making sure it's generally cleaned up out here after they collect the trash. That sort of stuff. And households pitch in to have better lighting. We pay more to the city to have them add an extra crime light out here on the street. It has cut down on some of the vandalism to our cars. That sort of
That's good. That's the other problem of isolation.
Yeah.
Be a target for it.
Yeah.
Do you have any problems with crime up there? Burglaries?
There was apparently a few years before we moved in, there were a slew of burglaries that they're pretty sure now had come from a person who was renting a basement apartment up there, and that gave the person access. There's no access. I mean, you see people carrying something up and down the stairs, you immediately are alerted. Many of us work at home. Right. Many of us work at home, so we're up there. I mean, there's one resident who's been here since the 60s. She said the nickname for this particular stair was Mushroom Hill in the 60s, and it was optional clothing.
Gee, I wonder why.
Clothing optional. Clothing optional.
That was our era, Lynn.
Yes, I know. I know.
And the resident that just left, who sold the property that got rebuilt on, she had been here for 19 years. So people tend to stay until their knees give out.
That's what a couple of kids, a young couple that lives up here, they're new. I don't know, you probably know them.
They're renting from Diane.
Yes.
Yeah, she'd been up here for 10 years before.
And they said that
Her knees got bad.
the knees go, and then you have to move off the steps.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you very
You're
much.
welcome. Thank
that
you.
was a nice impromptu
Okay.
interview.
Indeed.
We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you.
I had lost my interviewees up here, so this is a wonderful
Those
thing
bugs.
to happen. Yeah, well, they were busy. Anyway, thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Pleasure
Good
to
luck.
have met you.
Have a
this,
good day.
We'll look this today.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Our neighborhood.
And
Okay. There goes Christy up the steps, the first set of steps. We're getting a little low on tape, so we're going to just walk up to the top and show you a few of the cottages that are up there, like the one that Christy and her husband live in. There are also cottages right here. This is just a few steps up from Alessandro. So up we go, Lynn. Okay, here comes the next set of steps. Christy is way ahead of us up there. There's another little cottage here to our right. I believe we just saw the family that lives there going down the hill. There's another one here. As you heard, most of these were built in the 1920s. Okay, we're just about at the top. This is a split driveway that runs up. Again, we have cottages to our left. And this is a new house that was just built. I don't think the residents here are very pleased about it. It's a big box, not in keeping with the cottages. It's got a nice front door. Pretty plantings here. This is kind of typical of the front yards. These little cottages, quiet little places. Sit outside.
Hi,
Hi.
can I help you?
Yeah, you sure can. My name is.
Oh, you did.
Would you repeat?
No, I don't want my picture
Okay.
taken. I'm not
Okay.
proper.
But you just said, what did you go through to do your gardening?
I went through the UC Regent program.
UC Regent program.
It's called Common Ground Master Gardening Program, and it's a great program. It provides volunteers for all of the community gardens.
Yeah, you do public service
You
connected
do public
with it, don't you?
service, and then you learn so much. And I really needed to learn how to be sort of self-sustaining in the garden up here. So you know how when you volunteer, you get more than
Yes.
day.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, it's just charming, this whole thing.
So Lynn
And-
just asked how long they have been here, and you said 7 years.
yeah, a little bit, give or take.
And it was Valerie, is that correct? And we're speaking with Valerie, who does not want to appear on camera, so I'm getting
I'm
her
not
garden.
decent.
I'm getting her dog, who greeted us at the gate. And she said that she's a compost farmer, a gardener actually, and she uses a lot of innovative gardening methods to. Well, this camera's got a life of its own.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I hit the telescopic lens.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
I love your wisteria. Did you put that in?
No, that was here, but I.
Okay, we are climbing to the top of the eastern side of Loma Vista Place. We've just come up several sets of steps. Here comes Lynn. Again, we have cottages on our right and left. And this is a drive that goes up to the summit. Okay, we're just going to give you an idea. This is the set of steps that comes down from the summit and goes all the way down to Glendale Boulevard. It's about 4 or 5 flights. And all along the way going down, there are other little cottages, gardens. I'll take you down just a little way. We're not going to take you down there, but these are the steps that continue all the way down to Glendale Boulevard. Another few seconds. All right. Oh, let's hope we have enough tape for this. This is the contractor's mark. 1925, these steps and pathways were built. I don't think we have enough tape. Ah, well.